And in this weekly live chat, we watched Nate groom himself for 1 hour. Hey guys, how's it going? Dave from Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds, hanging out with these nerds. And yes, we did have some technical difficulties over the past couple days.
Nathan Nerdarchy, as you're probably well aware.
Maybe.
Perhaps there's a person fresh from someplace on the internet that has never heard of this before.
Well, I know there's loads of people on the internet that have no idea who Nerdarchy is, but if they're watching our live chat,
and they're also here. I'm sorry, it was just an assumed extra bit I didn't say.
Yeah, hopefully.
We'll see. If it happens to be your first ever Nerdarchy video, then I apologize for making that assumption.
And this is like standard Ted being wrong. Standard.
Oh. Yeah. So Google was messing with us a little bit. I think what happens if we just don't have quite enough bandwidth and we try to start a hangout, it'll do this thing where it opens up faux and on the other side, but it doesn't give you a button to start the hangout. So that becomes kind of problematic.
So weird question to ask while we're live, but do we know if the mic is picking up the airflow?
Oh, probably is.
Probably. I blame Nate.
But I was thinking about turning it off, and I was like, no, I want a few more sweet, precious moments of cleaner air.
And your breathing of oxygen. So this is actually not a great place for me to find the thing at, for some reason.
So this live chat is going to be full of all kinds of apologies. Not only are we apologizing for the technical difficulties and starting late,
for me being here,
apologize that Dave is actually here, which some of you are probably shocked about that. And we'll get into that story of why he is not currently in Boston, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And then I need to throw another apology that the teased list of I've got the list of who's going to be gaming this month with Dave totally got left in the pile over there. And I didn't read it last week. So I'm just screwing up all kinds.
It's all right, Ted. It's all right. We will love you anyway. Death.
So I've got the list here in front of me, and we'll go through that at some point in time.
All right. So it does appear that I may have a chat up here. So and it looks like there are people in there chatting. Oh, my God. That's so amazing.
So do we have Comic Book University there yet? Because he talked about being on this live chat during his live chat.
He did not deceive you. He did not deceive you.
So Bill, live on air, happy birthday from Nerdarchy.
We would sing the song to you, but we just can't afford that. You're saying
I had those expensive. Well, I mean, the LARPing barrister says that's a bad idea.
Yeah. Well, there's an awesome Teen Titans Go episode where they have to get Beast Boy's birthday properly done. And part of that is singing a birthday song to him. But every time they would go to sing the happy birthday song, Robin would go, no, we can't afford that song. So, I don't know. It amuses me anyway, but sometimes it doesn't take that much.
So this week we're going to announce why Dave is not in Boston. We're going to, for real this time, do this list. We have contacted the winner from last week, waiting for a reply, but I have no doubts that we'll get Josh to respond, as well as we can show what is this month's giveaway.
Yeah. So actually, the real reason I'm here is Ted is running his game tonight, and me and my son David decided to sabotage it by saying we're not going to be here, and at the last minute showing up. Boston was just an elaborate ruse.
I heard he did plan quite extensively for the smaller party.
No, I didn't. I actually found replacement players. And shockingly, I actually had 2 people bail on me.
He's like, I got replacement parts, and now I will build another player from them. Matthew Aubrey, apology accepted.
So the real reason why there was a problem was Dave had car issues.
Yeah.
But way less exciting than
I know.
any of that.
So I was, just before getting to the GW Bridge, if you're familiar with New Jersey at all, the very last service station exit that we could take, we got off because the car started making squealing sounds, and it was definitely my serpentine belt, and I'm like, YouTube diagnosing at 2 o'clock in the morning It's like, it's not even like if there was something I could possibly fix it, I didn't have any tools with me or anything. So it's like I had another 212 miles to Boston. And it was probably like another 80 miles to go home. But in addition to that, coming back would be like another 300 miles. And I'm like, oh, if we break down somewhere between here and Boston, we're going to be stuck for 2 to 3 days. Then my wife's going to miss work, which she doesn't have time to use. So we'd lose there. We'd have to pay for a hotel room. And we might not get where we're going anyway. So I was just like, instead of risking it.
It was sad. So to anyone who is a awesome Nerdarchy fan out there who was planning or could already be at AtCon expecting to see Dave, a heartfelt apology from all of us at Nerdarchy, and most of course from Dave that he's not there having a chance to meet you guys, hang out, and of course game with you.
Yeah, so like one of the things was like I didn't sign up to run any games at AtCon, but my personal general rule is if you get enough Nerdarchy fans together in one place to run a game, I will run a game whether I have one prepared or not. I cannot guarantee it'll be a good game, but I will absolutely run that game.
And was Locrius going to be there?
Yes, there's a picture of Locrius. Oh, I wish I
wanted to know whether or not he's always blue.
He was driving. It was a picture of him in his car driving to AtCon, and he was blue.
Okay, well,
I've had a conversation with him, and he typically...
Wait, don't spoil the magic, Ted. Just saying.
I'm not spoiling it.
Okay, all right.
He typically doesn't leave the house not doing.
Okay, well, then the magic has not been spoiled.
Comic Book University at Friganator. Dave, you should have called you to fix the belt. Is Friganator a mechanic?
And is he in the North Jersey area?
Yeah. Friganator is like, that's why you need a jetpack, Dave. Yeah, but I need a jetpack big enough to carry my whole family, though. Well, we'll look like, you ever see the water skiing pyramids? We'll have the jetpack that way. But on the plus side, I do get to play some D&D with my homies, despite breaking Ted's balls. I have not played in your game in like
2 months,
6 months or something.
2 months.
It's been a long time. A lot of things have changed.
I'm gonna get into the game, and Gar's beard is gonna be all the way down to his toes.
It's been 16 years. Everyone hates the characters.
Yeah. Rumpelstiltskin style.
You three, you're dead.
Jeremy, do you think Fire Genasi Dark Vision is infrared vision, or is everything just red? I kind of like. So I remember like old school AD&D when we used to play. We always described infravision as basically predator vision.
Yeah, the heat vision.
Yeah, the heat vision. Well,
That's
that's technically what it would be, but now it's just like you see everything in gray, black or white.
Because it didn't work exactly like normal vision, just not as good.
Yeah,
and that's what they really needed, so that people didn't have all this kind of strange workarounds and weird questions.
Right, when you start doing that, well, then I can see invisibility, right? And blah,
yeah,
blah, blah. Yeah. Gamers ruin everything. But
Star Trek gamers ruin everything.
Star Trek gamers, is that the problem? Yeah, play Star Wars. No, what I would actually do with that is if a player came to me and said, I want dark vision, I'm a Fire Genasi. Can it work just like dark vision, but I see everything in shades of red? I'd be like, fine.
Sounds great.
Sounds great to me. Whatever you want to do.
Mutants and Mastermind, great game. One of the things that game taught me as a GM is visually, like nothing mechanical, but visually speaking, if you want to make a change, go for it. It doesn't impact the game in any way, shape, or form. So like that's what I take away from that. So if somebody wants to look different or have something function the same, but it looks in a different way, no problem. The answer's always going to be yes.
Or with ninjas, the answer's always yes. So I also had a wedding to go to last night for one of Ted's family members. His cousin. Yeah, it was your cousin that got married, Lauren. Congratulations, Lauren and Dan. I had to think about it. But first of all, I was impressed with the amount of beards and ink at that wedding.
Nice.
Excellent. I was not impressed with the fact that it was outside in the sun, for the actual ceremony. I mean, everything else was they were in the shade. The wedding party was in shade, but like literally, I'm using the program to shield my eyes from the sun, and it is like just blinding me the whole time. But in the meantime, I also had received an email from fan Matt, who is actually putting Nerdarchy up when we hit Gen Con. So I'm like, let me give him a call because I wanted to talk to him on the phone. And I might have been 4 or 5 drinks in by that point. So
just as long as you weren't proposing to him.
Maybe it could have happened. I love you, man. I can't believe you could let us sleep on your floor. You're awesome.
All right, so we're partway into this thing. So I'm gonna get to this promised list now, so it's not forgotten.
It's a mystery to me too.
All right, so are you going with 4 or 5 players?
You know what, we can go for 4 because you know what, there's always gonna be like, I mean, we can go for 5 because there's always like one person that's not gonna show up.
All right, so that's the way I had it broken down. So the people who have a slot, the game is going to be July 23rd at 2 p.m. That's a Sunday. That's Eastern Standard Time. We have Leo Hale, Roy Goodman, Adam Chikati. How would you do that?
Oh, just go with Chikati.
Okay.
Sorry.
We've got
You didn't like my version?
David
You
Preville
didn't do metal hands.
and 7D System. So those are the people who are in the game.
I would just want to nix that last one.
Just nix it
Because
because
well, no, you can play
7D system?
Yeah, you can you can only be in the game if you play a ranger with a drop bear companion.
So then the alternatives we have selected are James Carden, Rick Vest, Kyle Bogdan, Leo Schultz, and Samantha Carr.
Okay, so Samantha again?
It's what the random generator did.
Okay, so guys, please RSVP. Even if you're on the alternate list, and just let me know if you're available at that time and day, the 23rd, 2 p.m. And we'll get it scheduled up, and we'll get you guys in the game. I'll get you the details. We should probably send out an email really soon, like last week. First, I need a flux capacitor to fix my car. Then I need to drive 88 miles an hour to last week. So then I'll send out the email to you guys.
It's my fault. It was one of my things. Didn't happen. Didn't talk about it in the chat. Didn't get an email out.
Fraginator 1369. I'm available if none of them RSVP. Well, you're one of our patrons, so that's where we're going to go first if we don't get people RSVPing.
Did he answer the question of whether he is a mechanic or not?
He might have, but I
think he just volunteered to use jetpacks instead.
Yeah.
That might have just been Comic Book University assuming he had jetpacks.
Maybe that's always a possibility. So are you indeed a mechanic, or do you indeed have jetpacks?
So I had a game scheduled for tomorrow with the other Star Wars game with Mike running.
Yeah, the other,
and it fell apart.
Oh no, you broke it.
No, I didn't break it. The DM broke it. He's trying to get his career in line, and he's putting that in front of gaming. So he's like, I talked to him yesterday, and I'm like, what time are we meeting on Sunday? And he's like, oh no, I didn't cancel that one. All gaming is off until I've got my new job.
Loser.
What he needs to do is he just needs to make gaming his career, and then
that's what I mean. Here's your buggle job.
He actually brought that up. He's like, it's a shame I can't get paid to run.
You can. It's very controversial, but you can. In some circles.
Indeed.
All right, so we have Bob Goblin. My new campaign starts this week. It starts off with the player's world or worlds being destroyed and waking up in the plane of Criticalis Maximus, where every hit is a critical. It's going to call it the Arcana Dome. Oh, there was no question in that. I thought it was a question.
Yeah. So we're going to answer it anyway.
Yeah.
You should totally start off with instead of them waking up, they should be blown from their perspective worlds, rolling through space and slam into that domain.
So, like, is it just attack rolls, or is literally everything that happens
A crit.
like
It just said every hit is a crit.
why? Well,
Sounds painful. What happens when you get a crit?
so what I'm asking is anything either a wondrous success or a horrible failure? There's nothing in the middle. That's what I want to know.
Oh, yeah. Well, so like if it's a miss, it's a critical miss. If it's a hit, it's a crit.
Right.
I don't know. You'd have to ask Bob Goblin.
Well, he wants to know our thoughts on it. So I say sure.
Thoughts.
Yeah, it just sounds like you're making it way more lethal by having all the damage be
Doubled. Yeah. I mean, that's going to influence. That's going to affect the players more than it affects the monsters. It always does. But hey, screw them. You're here to die, especially at first level. That's brutal at first level.
Yeah, you're gonna have to use like
You can't use orcs.
no, you can't.
Or you can, but they're all like hibachi chefs.
Flying snakes.
Oh, oh my god, flying snakes are so brutal.
Nice amount of poison there.
6 die 4 +1. Take that.
Oh, Bob Goblin says correct, Ted.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm totally on board. I need to know how this goes. So email us after your first session and let us know how it all transpired, because that sounds amazing.
Yeah. I guess the thing too is though, like, it's gonna be super lethal in the early levels, but then as you get up there in levels, it's not as bad. So, and like, how are you going to address actual crits? How are you going to address things like the champion's ability with a greater crit range? There's some owners of Canada that have the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
How does the half-orc ability and barbarian abilities work with crits? Because technically, if every hit's a crit, then they're always doing that extra weapon damage, which is pretty sweet.
There's actually a race in the MNK that is actually just slightly better than the half-orc. They get everything that's on the half-orc, and then something else.
Yeah, well, I found that like that it's been hit or miss, especially some of the races where they're getting like 2 skills, and it's definitely like 5e ratcheted up a little bit.
Well, I mean, if it's designed to try and bring in the Magic the Gathering players, like, well, I'll accept that if it's going to get that hook sunk.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be more of that or more the D&D players that play Magic. Now I can put them together.
Well, from my perspective, I want the Magic people playing D&D, so D&D gets bigger. Yeah, I understand that for them it's the other direction. They want everyone playing D&D to play Magic because there's so much more money in it for them.
Yeah, we're referencing Amonkhet.
Yeah. Yes, we are.
Yeah, we'll be recording a video on that, when this is done. So you'll see that in this upcoming week.
Yeah, sadly, I did not read it yet because it's really long, and I thought I was going to be in Boston.
But Nate and I will take care of it, and we're the ones that played Magic.
Yes,
Yes.
We'll take care of it because I've read it all.
All right, so look for that video where Ted does a lot of talking.
I guess we're going to be doing a cram session.
I'll read over your shoulder.
Although Ted did get, you did get it printed out. Right?
Yes, it looks really nice.
I dig the plane shift articles. I think they're really awesome, and there's a lot of flavor that's sunk into them, as well as, all right, well, you're going to get some new monsters. In this one you're getting new races. We'll get into all that in the actual video. I don't want to spoil it all now.
Bob Barra, are you a fan of the Warhammer world? Would you play Warhammer Fantasy RPG? I have not played the RPG. I'll play pretty much any RPG. I don't really care about them that much. But I'm a fan of the novels. I read a lot of the books. They have Gortrax and Felix for life.
I dig Warhammer. I played both Fantasy and 40K for a little while. I will have no problem getting into an RPG related to them. Have no desire to go back to actually playing the war game.
Well, I mean, you could play an entire really long session of D&D or play a battle.
Yeah, that's the last time I played 40K, it was literally a weekend adventure. We spent all of Saturday setting up the battlefield and designing our armies, which I came with my 2,200 point army completely prepared and printed out. I was good to go. So I literally was like, all right, I'm sitting here twiddling my thumbs while the other 3 players are getting their stuff ready. And then Sunday, it was like an 8-hour game. And an hour and a half of that was the orcs' first turn.
Now let's talk about something important. Nate, have you figured out the metric system
It's
yet?
the devil. This is an ongoing joke with Ivan and myself.
So there's a question here, but I'm not fully sure what Fernando is asking. Can you do raids, one-shot hardcore raids?
I think raids, you're talking about Warhammer, like setting up like smaller.
Okay, like a
smaller
skirmish.
points.
Yeah.
Because, Ted was just talking about 2,200 point army, which is
Man,
a
F
lot.
that. Just play HeroScape. It's way better.
HeroScape is awesome, although, you've seen the size of the gaming table. I have enough stuff
To
that
fill it.
we've filled it completely.
Yeah.
Dave and I did spend 6 hours building a map once to then play the next day.
And
Yeah.
now we've got several boxes of Magic the Gathering Planescapes. Not Planescape, whatever it's called. The box set of all
The
the
Planeswalker
miniatures.
games.
Yeah, Planeswalker. I was like, why am I saying Planescape?
I have no idea. You'll have to tell us why you're saying that.
Because I was just reading in the comments.
Yeah,
Planescape.
the Arena of the Planeswalkers, a board game, and I was shocked to actually see it on the shelf at a regular price at Walmart yesterday, but I've seen it at Target and a couple other places for like a steal of a price. It was Target, maybe Amazon, but you get a handful of minis as well as a couple HeroScape pieces. So it's definitely a good buy.
You're being quizzed in the chat, Nate.
Oh no!
No. Yeah, the only problem when we did build the whole table is the board. Was like if we started on one end, it took forever to get to the other side.
All right, I'll move for 6 turns. Can we just? All right, there we go. Now we're in
It
range.
seemed like a really good idea at the time.
I would play Warhammer 40K again if we each had a timer clock, and like you set figures down, and then you hit the button, and then the other person set their figures down, and then it just went like that, and it was like you gained some advantage for doing it faster. I would play a game then.
Well, the
Because
problem
if it
is
takes an hour and a half to set up, I'm not interested.
the problem is there's some armies that just have more or less units. So your style would totally fit. Like, oh well, I've got these supreme guys, and there's a small squad of them, versus the space orcs, where you've got dudes that are like, a point apiece.
Yeah. Well, I play Eldar. I don't care. Disadvantage to orcs is fine with me.
yeah. Screw you, orcs.
Exactly.
The green skin hate, man. It's not good. It's not good. Wow.
Oh, I thought it was 3.5. I was with you, Comic Book University.
They've devolved 3 1/3. They've devolved to a metric debate in the chat.
Oh,
What have our live chats come to that we must discuss things like that?
It's just part of the conversation. All kinds of stuff happens.
Yeah. So Ted, do you have plenty of ways in mind to murder us today?
no. In fact, I have settled on absolutely nothing. We've got game in a handful of hours from now, and other than Henri going to pick up his order from the tailor, there's nothing.
Oh my God, that's kind of funny. I think.
Yeah.
Wait. So Henri's going to the tailor.
Yes.
All right, session
Of course.
over. That's all we needed to do.
What more really needs to happen?
I'm shopping for magical item accessories to my awesome spheres thing, Chaos Gem.
What?
I made a magic item.
How can this even happen?
I'm shopping around.
See what happens when you don't show up.
Oh my God, you guys have practically burned down the whole place. I missed one session.
All right,
I
so
have glorious power to control chaos storms is what I'm going to say.
all right, so out there we've crossed our halfway point. If you guys want to sound off where you guys are, tuning in from, it's time for the roll call. And while you guys are doing that, I will dive into what is in the pile for next time's giveaway. So from Nord Games, we have the Game Master's Toolbox Ultimate Bestiary Revenge of the Horde, Monster Reference Cards, 5th edition compatible. It is a whole slew of them.
Well, that's a lot.
So you get lots of stuff.
I like lots of stuff.
And we also have Adventure Realm role-playing game map tiles.
So from Red Dragon Games, they are double-sided, so that you can do whatever side happens to be best fitting for your...
It's like outside and then also interior on the other side.
So it looks, between 15 and 20 tiles here.
Probably
This
16.
Oh, there you go.
16 double-sided tiles.
So this is the
strong
Adventure
possibility.
Realm Town and Wilderness. So first week of August, we will announce who those are going to be shipped off to. There. I've said my happy birthday. I've read the list. I've said what we're giving away.
We could say how you could actually possibly get it.
Oh, go for it.
Okay,
That's your department.
so if you're a Patreon member, even at $1 level, you get a free entry for our monthly giveaways, as well as our fan games. And if you are not a Patreon member, you can still mail in a entry form that you can find on our website. Just go to Nerdarchy, and I believe it says sweepstakes and contests.
Yes.
And that'll allow you to, fill out make sure you select the right one, fill out the information, and send it to Nerdarchy at the P.O. Box provided.
Nerdarchy P.O. Box 534, Woodbury, New Jersey, 08096.
And like all of our contests and sweepstakes, this has nothing to do with YouTube, and it's not funded or supplied by YouTube. It's just all
And nothing
us.
to do with Patreon either.
And nothing to do with Patreon either.
It's something we do, and that's just how you...
It has nothing to do with anybody that could possibly sue us.
Exactly.
It's just one extra thing that we do for you guys. So we thank, Nord Games and
Odin. Thank you, Odin.
and Red Dragon Gaming for supplying those things that we can provide to you guys.
We should just pick a different mythological being to sponsor each of them.
Okay. So this one's sponsored by Odin?
Yeah, I don't think they can sue us. I don't think they have any legal rights in the United States.
And if they could, I'd like to see it happen. 'Cause
Yeah.
that would be pretty cool.
Can we
All
film
right,
that?
and if you are
At
legitimately
least gets a Wikipedia link, right?
and,
Shoot by Odin.
and Odin, if you are actually out there as daughter Vadarong, please don't sue us.
Oh, we got Joseph. We got Bob Goblin in Little Rock, Arkansas. We got Ivan. Nope, you're not saying where you're from. Curse you, Ivan.
We have an Ivan, but we don't know where he is.
We got Comic Book University. I'm hanging at the Infinity Well. That's way better than Asbury Park. One day I wanted to tell you why I always rip on Asbury Park. Bob Barra is in the Netherlands. Britta, awesome. Joseph, Mean Puppy, Jacksonville, Florida. Why couldn't it be a nice puppy? Fernando Q at Fernando's Tiny Hut. Nice. We've got Steve. Is otherwise known as Arizona.
110 degrees.
Yeah, that's a lot. Twig P, New Haven. I believe that's Kentucky. Kentucky. I like Kentucky Fried Chicken. Comic Book University. Whoever wins, demand the Nerdarchy crew sign the map, sign every map title and every card. Excellent. Wilder Smith, New York. We've got Satori Shin in Sacramento. We've got Ivan in Canada. We got Gulhan. I'm probably butchering that. Is in Brazil. Oh, that's awesome. Love you guys. We love being loved from Brazil. Brazil has got like the hottest women in it. I'm partial to Brazil.
That is Dave's opinion, not all of Nerdarchy's. I don't want to insult the other women that are out there.
It's not their fault. They're not from Brazil. We got Lehman 74, Russellville, Arkansas. So we got some Arkansas in the house today. Ivan's messing with me. I think close to Regina, Saskatchewan.
Not Shashwan.
Yeah, I know. Sasquatch. They're from Sasquatch, I think, somewhere.
Jeremy from Central Florida.
And that's it. No one else is from anywhere else.
So
you guys have all gone off the flat earth and onto the
as
other
always,
side.
thanks guys. It's really awesome for us to see where you're tuning in from. It's cool to see how much this group of people is spread and grown, and just awesome.
Yeah. By the way, we still have our GoFundMe going on, so we're still panhandling the internet. Every little bit helps. Everyone that has done so already, thank you so much. You guys have helped us raise over $2,000. So definitely we will be able to fly out to LA and possibly sleep on the streets. Thanks to your generous support. We greatly appreciate it. So we're not quite all the way there. We still could use help with, food, lodging, incidentals, travel while we have boots on the ground, that sort of thing. So if you can give, please do. If not, please share it out to social media. And also, so there's been this reward set thing that's been set by Bill, Comic Book University, and I think Doug as well.
I think it was a combination of Bill, Doug, and Megan. We can go back to last Friday's, 8 days ago's, Friday chat.
If we hit the goal of $4,500, what they have proposed, and I believe me and Ted have agreed to it, is to go onto one of the beaches of LA wearing the Nerdarchy thong. Now I'm really I'm kind of disturbed at the fact that they want to see this, or so anyone want to see this.
I'm just hoping that it's more about us being humiliated for their pleasure and not something else. But if that's what it takes, so be it. I mean,
and we might set up a counter offer of $9,000, and we won't do it. I don't know.
I thought we only had eye patches on the store.
Nate is looking going, that is definitely not one size fits all.
That must be an eye patch.
Bob Barr, no, it's pure sex.
And Steve wants to hear about it but not see it. Wise words. Wise
yeah.
words.
So that has been thrown out there. You guys can vote on that or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But time is ticking down. What's that?
Comic Book University. I don't want to see it, but I know I won't be able to look away.
It'll be a train wreck for sure. Oh man,
you guys will be fine.
So there, are you happy, Comic Book University? We did actually talk about it.
Yes, yesterday at the end of the game, we're getting ready to sign off, and Bill's like, "Talk about the thong. Talk about the thong."
Hey, come August, we'll either have 1 million subscribers or 0. So after the thong episode,
who knows? So some other things that are coming up. Okay, so the Boston AtCon thing didn't happen. We are going out to LA, as we said, in July. So guys, if you are in LA or near LA and you want to hang out with us, email us. Because right now we need to start figuring out and scheduling when we're going to hang out with you guys. We're thinking maybe like a Friday night or something.
Well, right now we have Friday and Sunday. There's nothing scheduled at this point in time.
Well, Sunday May's Arcana film, so we might hang out with them a little bit. But definitely Friday night, and it seems like a good time to do it. Maybe Sunday or two. Well, it depends what you guys are doing, where you're at, when you're available. But email us, message us on Facebook, give us a feel for how many people we're going to get to hang out with, and what we're going to do. Obviously, me or Ted will probably run some D&D if we get enough of you guys together to play a game for sure. Ted will be there, I'll be there, so. That's 2 of us at least.
Well, Alan Bingham, he contacted us and said that he's in that area.
Okay,
so he's definitely there. Jimmy contacted us via email and said that he wasn't too far out. So that's at least 2. I mean,
yeah. Well, Jimmy's the one that actually offered us his couch, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but he was a little bit too far away for us to commute back and forth to LA. It would have been I think it's in LA travel time. It's anywhere from an hour to 6 hours one way.
Yeah, that's just, so appreciate the offer, but that's just we can't.
Time is going to be limited out there, so we're going to have to stay centrally localized so we can get in all the cool stuff.
Absolutely.
We've been offered a tour of Geek and Sundry on Thursday. So that should be a lot of fun. I don't know if that'll mean anything. I don't know if it'll be a Thursday night. I don't know if anything happens there then or not. We're definitely trying to figure out some things with that. And beyond July, I can't talk.
Beyond
July, me and my son David and Stanford Doug, we are road tripping out to Gen Con. So I think me and David are going to get in the car Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday morning, drive to Ohio to Cleveland, crash there, and then the 3 of us will continue on into Indy. the next day.
Sounds like we're doing some more live chats, Nate.
I guess so.
You guys just might be, but there's a couple really awesome things that's happening there. One is I've been invited to play in a game on the Maze Arcana channel. It's going to be streamed. It's going to be Matt Mercer, Amy Dallin, Todd Kenrick, and then the Maze Arcana crew as well, Satine and Rudy, which was that's really cool. I'm excited about that. And then later that day, we are supposed to be live streaming the Every Die Roll Matters event. And that is Matt Mercer, Adam Cabal, Brian Feaster, Shannon Germain, and I'm not sure if there's anyone else. There might be a guest person. Did I say Satine?
I don't think so.
Satine Phoenix. So there's 5 of them. There might be one more, but we're going to get rights to stream that. So we are working out the details of figuring out how to get that done right now. I've been in contact with several different production companies, and we're probably actually going to bring in an outside company and have them film it for us and beam it to our YouTube. There is some issues that we're kind of dealing with, like the Expo internet is like extremely expensive. They want like for 5 megabits, they want like $1,000 an hour, literally, and so we're trying to do a workaround and figure that part out.
I might have a lead on that.
Okay. So we've been working on that. Worst case scenario is we will definitely get it recorded, because that was one of my main things. If we bring in a production company, can you guys stream it and make sure it gets recorded as well? And they're like, absolutely. So that part looks really promising. And and then we have some other things we're kind of working on try and make that happen, because one, it'll be really cool. And you guys have been bugging us to get Matt Mercer on, do a live chat, but this is a sold out event at Gen Con, and this may end up being like the only place that you're able to watch it. I got to talk to Brian Feaster and see if we do get the streaming going on, if we can get if there's any audience interaction, if we can get some of it to go to the chat. That would be really cool, but I know they're going to have 200 people there live,
right?
So they might want to do all of that as opposed to going to the chat. But that's one of the things I'm going to have to work out the details on. But again, for people at Gen Con, it's completely free except for whatever Gen Con charges them. Open Legend isn't charging anything, and they're sponsoring the event, and then we're going to stream it to the internet for free, so you guys can all check it out. So we're really excited about that. And then we also have a super secret project we're working on with several other YouTube channels that you may or may not have heard of. If you watch Twitter, you might be able to figure out who we're talking about and who we've been kind of in cahoots with. But when we get closer to that, we'll let you guys know what we're doing over there. But it's going to be pretty epic and fun.
Yes, I have to send my Thank You Evil book with you so you can get Shayna to sign that.
Nice. Sign it. Yeah, I am super stoked about going to Gen Con, because there's a lot of people at Origins that we know and have run into, but there's going to be easily twice as many at Gen Con. So that part's really fun, is getting to meet everybody and connect in person.
Absolutely.
And get drunk. Most importantly, get drunk.
So that's good bonding time.
It is. And they'll talk about things they would never, ever talk about before. Oh, nice. International does need to happen, but we know the bias towards Sweden for Sweden for priority. Absolutely. Actually, my grandmother, who passed away a couple years ago, maybe it is only like a year and a half ago. It feels like forever now. But she was actually from Sweden, or a small island right just off of Sweden.
We have a decent following in Sweden and Denmark.
Barbarian. No, it's Netherlands second. we just like the Scandinavian countries a lot. Except for the women from Brazil. No, it's not true. We love women from everywhere.
Indeed.
Just not too much, because we're all married and our wives would kill us.
Any other questions out there, guys?
If you guys want to come to Brazil, talk to Omelet. I'm not sure exactly what that means.
Sounds like what I had for breakfast.
Yeah, I don't
Well, maybe if it's Brazil, it's Amalete.
Maybe. Is that a YouTuber or somebody down there? Or are you making us breakfast? We're not sure. I'm actually down for either, to be honest with you. I'm kind of a fat guy. I can eat.
So Gripply Games wants to know if we are going to GaryCon X next year.
You know what? I would love to make it to one of the Gary Cons. And so I guess, is that Gary Con 10? That's the 10th one?
I'm assuming so, yeah.
Why did they wait so long to start doing it before starting to do Gary Con?
I don't know.
I don't know when it. I don't know.
Dude, I had a long list of places I would like to hit. Yeah, I would like to do Dragon Con at least once. There's also one I always forget the name of it. There's one out in Texas everyone tells me I have to hit, where it's like mostly like all industry guys. So you're just like playing games with the guys that made the games pretty much. That's all awesome. You do. It's like a really small event, but it sounds like it's really impactful. GaryCon is another one. Gamehole's another one. So there's definitely, I don't know. I just want to spend 1 year where all we do is just go from con to con. We just need like $1 zillion, and then we can do our live chats.
Well, we wound up, in one of the conventions that I went to, I actually.
Oh, yo, your nephew is like a super evil genius. Maybe he can hack their internet for us. If you're an authority and listening, stop listening. We're kidding. We don't really mean that.
10 seconds ago, stop listening.
So no, the one convention I went to, the guy, I think Matt from Foam Brain Games, he runs like the game rooms at conventions, and he was talking about like pretty much 40 weeks out of the year. That's what he's doing. He's at conventions.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
We can make this happen. I don't think we can make Nerdarchy happen if we do that, but we can make that happen. Ivan had a question for me.
Oh, yeah, it was about Cogent roleplay.
Yeah.
What
do you know about Cogent roleplay? That's
I'm reading it right now. I'm trying to go through it and digest it. So
that's the Shadversity game?
Yep. Him and his brother, I believe.
Yeah. They should definitely play a game of that with us.
Yeah, I would like to see that happen.
that would be way cool. Guys, go harass Shadversity. Be like,
go ask him nicely.
and let him know that Nate's,
like Dave translation.
Nate fawns all over this guy.
Hey, I'm a fan. You could be a fan of people on the internet, I heard.
I heard that too. Yeah, I actually like Shadversity too. That is one of the ones that we go through. And we've done a couple of video responses to him because he's always talking about interesting things. He's got some really cool like fantasy, what do I want to say? Fantasy-ish videos, because his videos tend to be more real world, but he does things like what weapons would dwarves really use? What weapon would a giant really use?
Or like, is this castle decent based on what it's actually, its actual design, or is it realistic? Or
yeah.
And there's a lot of, in many video games, there's a lot of crap castles. That's for sure. That's what I gather from his stuff.
And he did totally gave a shout out to us. So that's awesome.
We I'm not sure. I'm trying to decipher that comment, but I don't know if they're saying we're being an asshole talking about women from Missoula or not. I don't know. I just think they're beautiful. I don't know if that's bad. I apologize.
If you have been offended by anything that Dave says, he did not mean it. Believe me, I have to hear this all the time.
Oh yeah. It's Ted's burden. Yes, Bob. Did you guys see? Well, I did anyway. The Joe Manganiello video about his quest to making a good D&D movie. Yeah, he did a Dungeon Life video with Todd Kenrick, and they were talking about that.
Cool.
And I did check that out.
Honestly,
I feel like if you watch Of Dice and Men, like that is a huge that is a great example of what a good D&D movie could be like. And so part of me is like, if you just try and do like a Game of Thrones movie or like a Lord of the Rings movie and just call it Dungeons and Dragons, it's not really Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
It's just a fantasy movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. And you just stamp Dungeons and Dragons on it. And it probably really won't do anything for the hobby per se. But if you can do like a really high level, gamers type game or or not game type movie, or like what they did in Dice of Men. There is actually some cool ways that you could do it. That does make sense that people will enjoy it. And I hear people say you can't do that. People won't watch, they won't enjoy it. But it's not true, because look at Princess Bride. Like they actually did it first. So like along those veins, it could definitely be done.
Princess Bride is one of those movies that's high up on my charts of just perfect movie.
True of Dice of Men is so good. It is so good. I was blown away, and I actually felt guilty for waiting so long to watch it, because Brian Stillman had been singing the phrases for so long.
Yeah, Dave's been kicking me about once a week. You got to go watch this. You got to go watch this. And I'm like, it's on the list. I'll get there.
Well, the thing too is, like, if you have Amazon, I know definitely Amazon Prime. You can just go on Amazon Prime and watch it.
Right.
So so there's no reason for you guys to check it out. For me, I just don't actually watch that much TV or movies unless I'm going to the movies.
Right.
Like I almost always have to make it an event now. Like Netflix has dropped so many series that I watch, and I haven't touched any of them yet.
Yeah, I'm
I'm a
currently
little overwhelmed.
I'm currently getting caught up on Arrow. It really screwed me up when they did that 4-part crossover. I had to stop them all.
Yeah, totally. Like we encountered that because we had actually, I think, bought Legends of Tomorrow.
Okay.
And we're watching the DVDs, and we had gotten to that point. But like, it was the best one of the crossovers to actually watch without seeing the rest, because you kind of got the recap and gist, and then the conclusion happened in Legends of Tomorrow, so it wasn't so bad.
Okay.
But if you would pick that up anywhere else, you'd be like, I feel like. Send hate mail to Dave's foot in mouth 22. Oops, said it again. Yeah, nice.
So Banhammer. Well, I thought it was Banhammer. Is it Barhammer? It's like unable to be read easily. Anyway,
Warhammer.
D&D movie as an anime would be really great. I think. I think that type of story like lends itself to that.
Isn't there fairy tale? Isn't that basically? Wouldn't that basically be it?
I think toning down a little bit of the anime style to more like closer to the rigidity of D&D. When I say rigidity, I mean like rules. Like too much crazy stuff happens, I think, in fairy tale for it to be a good gauge of a D&D quest.
Let's see. So TrueMate, there are a load of RPG series on YouTube that are just great. True that. All right, you had asked this question before the Borgus 23. I meant to get to it, and I just moved elsewhere. So my brain often will. Do you think you should split 2 abilities, one for weapons of the hand and one's for agility, AC, and saving throws? So there's plenty of systems that actually do that already. Mutants and Masterminds 3rd edition does it fairly well. They have fighting and agility ability. And actually, even the Marvel FASERIP kind of does that a little bit too. There's fighting and agility. So there is. I don't think you need it for D&D per se. Way back when in 2nd edition, they actually did do the powers and options,
skills and powers,
and they basically broke every stat up into 2 pieces.
But really, all that did was allow people to power game their characters
so much harder,
because it'd be like, all right, well, I've got this score now, but I don't care about this. I want to just be able to do that. So I'll say, well, I don't carry as much, but I hit really hard, and I don't care about being, skilled at using ranged weapons, but I'm better at dodging. So I'll raise that part of my stat. Oh God, it was.
So I kind of like it in Mutants and Masterminds, but I would not like it for my D&D.
Okay.
I'm not sure why, but that's just how I feel.
Well, they didn't go crazy with every single stat with Mutants and Masterminds 3rd edition.
No.
Whereas with the skills and powers in 2nd edition, you literally had it for every single stat.
That is true. So,
but they did kind of have like spell points instead of.
It was powers and options. There was tons of different things.
Yeah,
so.
Right.
Which I thought was really cool.
Yeah. That aspect wasn't bad, but the splitting your stats to,
it was too easy to min max.
list.
I mean, well, you can in 5th edition you can easily do the same thing because they have the variant rule or optional rule for using spell points. But yeah, when you get into the stats, like it does get hard, and when you can min max even that much harder with it. For me, I don't like it. I mean, like I said, if you do some research, you can find how it was done in 2nd edition, and you could probably just mimic that and port it right over to your game if that's what you and your group wanted to do.
Yeah.
Be warned.
Comic-
That's true. Comic Book University is running FASERIP for us right now, for me and some of the staff writers, and we're headed to Asgard, possibly. is one of the rumors that I've heard. So that's going to be pretty cool.
That'll be nice to see.
So Mondays now at noon.
Yeah, Mondays at noon, and then Fridays at noon we're doing Open Legend, Other Skies,
which is pretty awesome.
Mondays are really busy for me. Monday night I'm running the Scarlet Sisterhood, and again, this past Monday was another fairly emotional session. So one of my players cries again.
Dave being harsh to his players. What else is new?
I think she was just role playing. So it's all good. Come on, man! It's all what it's all about. Getting them feels.
So have we figured out what's going on with Vex yet, or is she?
I have no idea. So it's still MIA.
Well, I hope she comes back if she can soon.
Which indie RPG gets you guys excited?
What are the options?
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
True.
and at what point is it indie and not indie? Like, because really, like you're really pretty niche when you're talking about gaming and tabletop games in general.
So, like, I mean, for me, like the things that are high on my list, obviously D&D, which is, I'm guessing nothing on my list is going to fall into indie by most people's definitions, but Cypher System, Fantasy Flight Star Wars game, and I want to check out.
Well, that's my point. Are those actually indie, right? I mean, they're not Dungeons & Dragons and Pathfinder, but Fantasy Flight Games is really a big company. Green Ronen's pretty big. Monty Cook Games is another of the big ones. Like, they're the biggest company, probably the biggest companies in the niche. So at that point, are they still indie? Or like to be indie, does like the designer still have to be working a muggle job and start?
And at that point, how have we possibly heard of them? Like,
yeah.
So I mean, we do try to keep our ear to the ground to hear what's going on, so that we can bring you guys news of what we know and what we hear and what have you. But I don't know. So
Our sage of indie games has gone on hiatus. So for a little bit,
he did mention Blades in the Dark, and I was interested in that, but I don't remember who he said made that. If that was a big time publisher or not.
I think it's Evil Hat Production.
Okay.
But I don't remember the author right
So what
now.
about Open Legend? Is Open Legend an indie game?
Open Legend would definitely.
So if that one is, then I'll sign up for that one, because I totally am digging Open Legend.
Except for you're already playing it, so it doesn't count. What gives you want to play?
Well, I want to play it. I'm greatly enjoying it. It's not like you didn't say what game you want to play that you haven't.
Have you guys read the IDW series? No, but I bet I know someone who has. It's a comic book, and he just commented right above you in the chat, Comic University. There's a possibility that you may even find a video on that stuff over there.
Based on a conversation that we had, I'm greatly interested, and part of me really wants to reach out to the other Ted that's apparently involved with this.
Cogent is definitely indie. Yeah, I would definitely say so as well.
And I am interested in playing that. I just have not read it all the way yet. So
right now, like, it's not so much. Right now, I don't have the bandwidth for more games right now. I've got a few going on, but more coming up.
Well, there's lots of games that are out there that I wouldn't mind checking out at some point in time. I've got what is it? Godbound, that we have here, that I'd like to check out at some point in time. And I'm fairly certain that one definitely falls into the indie category.
Yeah, I would like to say that literally there are just so many games that I want to play that it becomes hard for me to distinguish indie, not indie. They're just games I want to play.
Right.
I really don't care about that part of it. I know some people are like super into that. Like Chepe used to break his stones because like it was too mainstream, he wouldn't play it. So
yeah, for me it's the same situation. I don't care whether it's indie or normal or whatever. If it's intriguing or interesting, yeah, I check it out.
Yeah, I mean, there's still more games of Worlds of Cypher I want to check out. I actually want to still play in a Numenera game. I am
Invisible Sun.
Invisible Sun.
Well, I mean, we're gonna have to get that at some point in time when it shows up.
Pretty much. Well, yeah, and I do have I have one of the books coming too, eventually for Worlds of Cypher as well. The Mask was just supposed to be like superhero horror.
Ooh,
So I'm kind of curious to see what that. I think it's like superhero horror and noir.
Well, the thing that I like about the Cypher system is it's like they've kind of taken Numenera and the Strange and said, okay, we're going to lump this together. So all the books really help each other and feed the system. So I like it.
Savage Rifts is another one on the list.
Yes, that was the fourth one that I kind of wants to play.
But again, like I don't really feel like that's an indie game. Like Savage Worlds is really well known. It's been established. It's been around for a while, and so has Palladium.
Right.
So you're literally taking two really established rules. Who is Ivan, man? He's all over you.
Yeah, I'm commenting back to him.
Yeah. They're having a side discussion about metrics and cogent and stuff.
They must chat their downtime.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen. Well, I'm curious because I haven't seen Ivan that much.
Yeah, he's newer, I think.
Cool, awesome. Well, welcome, Ivan. Good stuff.
Oh, we've done 8 polls lately.
We're doing polls on Twitter.
Okay.
So if you guys are following us on Twitter, there's polls going on there. Ted is always asking questions and talking to people about stuff over in
Patreon.
The Patreon. So
I haven't had a poll there in a little while, so I'll try to make sure I get another one up.
Dun, dun, dun.
Don't want to overload you guys with polls, but
And surveys and other things.
Yeah.
well, I mean, I do ask questions to gather intel and information from our patrons.
Yeah, well, we did do the poll on what kind of games we were going to play. Like, we did that to figure out the Open Legend game, and then the next game Scott Garibay is going to run, but he's kind of on hiatus right now.
Well, we have a replacement DM for that game, and as stated previously, he's putting his career. So we're looking probably mid to end of August. The Star Wars game.
So wait, do we need a replacement GM for a replacement GM?
No,
Maybe.
Okay.
no. It's just
We're just not starting yet.
We're gonna start a month later than we should
Okay.
because he's got this thing going.
You're to a guy from Asbury Park to be talking about poles and thongs.
All right, so I believe we're getting
Hey,
pretty
good.
close
It's
to that
3:10.
time.
We are done for the day.
Yeah.
Well, we're done with this part. We got more work to do. We got a few videos to shoot and a game to run. So,
All right, do we want to check out Trudvang? I guess that's another game. I don't even know what it is. I'll have to look into that. Bob Barra.
as always, we're always willing to accept feedback and suggestions. So if there's a game you think we should check out, send us some intel on it, and we can take a look and see if we can put that into the queue.
Absolutely. And as always, guys, thanks for hanging out. Really appreciate you guys jumping on here with us and chilling and spending your Saturday afternoon with us, especially in the summertime when it's nice out. Be doing cool things like going to the beach. But instead, you're here with us. It's all right. The sun is poison anyway.
You never know. Some people could be like totally under an umbrella
On the
streaming
beach.
on the
Nice.
beach.
As it should be. Nerdarchy, all the places.
The umbrella drink right here. I mean,
Sounds good. Sounds
Nice.
delicious.
Well, we have talked about the possibility of the Nerdarchy Costa Rica compound.
there's also the possibility of the Nerdarchy World Tour.
Well, yeah, there's that as well. But that's not tropical all the time.
But first, the Nerdarchy compound and the travel bus.
Yeah, there's no way that'll get us on a watch list at all. So until next time, guys,
Stay nerdy.